and other things, which I don't, obviously. See, I'm even blank right now, because I don't know. He's the expert in that. So he can train you. So for you to train your child, what do you need to know? Anybody? We can do, it's small enough, you can answer me back. What is it you need to know to give your child? What are the requisite skills and knowledge you need? The way of God. Thank you, my darling sister there. The way of God. You need to know the way of God to teach your child to know the way of God. Very simple. Very simple, isn't it? And remember, we said it's not just telling them the way of God. It's showing them in your own actions, in your own living, that you do know this God. So yes, I do agree with you, and we'll just break it into two for sake of time. There's so much we can go over. But I'll start with, like I said, Proverbs 2. Let's read that. And I'll pick on just two things from Proverbs 2. My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commands within you, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Yes, if you cry out for discernment and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth comes knowledge and understanding. You will get what? An understanding of the fear of God. I want to talk just a few minutes about the fear of God. The fear of God, if you have it, your life will be straight.
Yes.
Fear of God is not like fear of man. It's not like fear of juju, and people fear all kinds of things, especially in this Nigeria. People fear the police, people fear army, people fear kidnappers. We're not talking about that kind of fear. The fear of God, the beginning of wisdom, right?
Yes.
Is a reverential fear of God. It's a fear of the awesomeness of God. It's a recognition of who God is. It's a recognition of how big this God is. It's a recognition of the holiness of God. It's a recognition that without him, we are nothing. Without this God, he says, but a breath and you're gone. We just buried a 33-year-old daughter of ours in Ohio. She went to bed. Thank God she was a believer, of course. But she went to bed and she didn't wake up. That's it. No illness, nothing. So God could take you and I at any point. Do you recognize that? I'm not saying, people think you should carry this morbidity, this fear of dying. No. But the Lord does teach us wisdom to number our days. The fear of God is all encompassing. To know that He's first and foremost in your life. How do you show your children, therefore, that God is number one? I know sometimes they complain, everything is God. But they see daily that I give God praise for everything. Everything. God is number one. Do you recognize that God is number one? And if you do, how? What's the process of you showing it to your children? That's what train your child up is. Fear of God. See, when people have a right attitude of fear, I like Abigail, who became David's second wife. She had a certain fear of the lordship of David. And so when she heard that her husband was being unfriendly, let me find a nice word. I wanted to call him foolish, but that's pretty much what the husband was being.